Hi everyone, welcome to North Dakota Pulse, the show about our North Dakota legislative session. It's exciting, it's fetch, we all love it. Tonight's the night for good bills. So let's get into that. So I'm going to have a graphic that's right here, and that's all the bills that are happening next week with the hearing. These are bills that will be put before committee and you have time to support or deny them. The ones in green are ones that I recommend probably supporting. Now, there's a lot of good stuff happening next week for you to submit testimony to. There is going to be House Bill 1217. That's going to be our decriminalizing HIV. We have House Bill 1475, which is a free school meal bill. Then we have House Bill 1597, that's a state financial assistance to eligible ambulance services. And then finally, Senate Bill 2326, that's increased protections for survivors of sexual assault. Those are all being heard on Monday. You can submit testimony. Do you live in Minnesota? You can still do it. How about North Dakota? You betcha. You can submit testimony as a private citizen without much restriction, but double check your job if you're a government employee. It gets dicey. Not giving legal advice here. I just know it's weird. So most people can submit testimony, and you should if you can. Two other good bills that are coming up is that there will be a hearing for a funding for rural grocery stores bill. That is Senate Bill 2228 being heard Friday, and you can submit testimony. It's good when we feed our rural communities. There are food deserts all across North Dakota, ironically, being a farming state, but there are because it's hard to get good infrastructure and more money depletes from our rural communities. The better that they can eat and have access to food, the safer that they are, especially during giant storms and other disasters that hit our state. I like that. That's from Jay Murdahl, a senator who does a lot of bills I'm not a fan of, but does one bill I really like. So I support it and like that she did it and would compliment her on it. The other really good bill is happening this Wednesday, and that's going to be medical regulations for pregnancy resource centers. Pregnancy resource centers are basically fake gotcha clinics that get individuals who might be experiencing pregnancy, don't know, to get tested, but often they serve as basically guilt centers to make sure that a person doesn't get an abortion. On paper, that technically isn't what they do, and there's quite a lot of regulations, but anyone who works in healthcare, especially reproductive healthcare, probably has a couple of horror stories to tell you about women who've utilized that service and had a terrible time because it was not properly staffed. They're not super regulated because they're not technically clinics in some way, and it's weird. I don't know exactly how they are able to do that legally, but this bill is to say, stop being bad about medicine. You can still probably guilt people, but you do need to have doctors. You do need to be licensed. That's kind of what that bill does. So it would be a good bill to ensure the safety of individuals who are trying to get pregnancy tests or just want to know what's going on in their life. So that's some bills that we are going to hear. You can submit testimony and make good things happen. I want to let you know also about the bills that are good that have passed their chamber, which means they're going to move on to the next chamber in about a month, and then we'll start the process over. So good bills that have passed. HB 410, a study on laws related to criminal conduct against children. We have House Bill 1420, that's a state grant to libraries. We have Senate Bill 2033, that is an ambulance emergency funding. We have Senate Bill 2043 that revokes licenses for teachers convicted of sexual crime. We have Senate Bill 2079 that makes peer support specialists Tier 4 mental health. We have Senate Bill 2081 that is a central site for mental health services for elders. We have Senate Bill 2138, which is provide grant funding for those who care for elders. We have Senate Bill 2145, that is protection for first responders, and then Senate Bill 2173, that expands child advocacy powers to talk with law enforcement to make sure kids are safe. So that is 10 good bills that have passed and are moving on. There's going to be more than that probably before the session is over with. So we are doing good things and providing support for people. It's not all bad, terrible stuff. That's just the stuff that makes the news because it's provocative and sensationalizing. And that daylight savings thing was a real big blow to all of us. It's actually the bad one. Like, it's more darkness in our lives. So it's not good. Don't pretend it's good. Moorhead will have a different time zone than Fargo. It will ruin everyone's life. I'll try not to focus on the bad stuff, but that one's very silly. That's what I have for you. Satires Saturdays is coming up tomorrow. I'll have some jokes for you. Bad Bill Sunday is coming up after that. But let's just keep getting to tomorrow, everyone. Let's just keep taking a day at a time and try to get involved with one of these bills. That's my encouragement for you this weekend. Submit testimony to one of them. Don't write 20 paragraphs. Don't make yourself have to research for 10 hours. Just write a paragraph that says, hi, I'm here and I care about this. And this is why, and submit it. That's all you have to do. The more you practice getting involved, the easier it is to do. So go out there and get involved. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. I love you. And let's just celebrate democracy. Yay, democracy. Good night.